great plan. We've absolutely got to stop them. Put me back in your pocket quick, and we'll chase after them and warn everyone in England they're coming. Redunculous and impossible, the BFG said. They is going 2 times as fast as me, and they is finishing their guzzle before we is halfway.
But we just can't sit here doing nothing. How many boys and girls are they going to eat tonight?
Many. The flesh lump eating giant alone has a most squawkling, waxy appetite.
Will he snatch them out of their beds while they're sleeping?
Like peas out of a bottle.
I can't bear to think of it.
Then don't. For years and years I is sitting here on this very rock every night after night when they is galloping away. And I is feeling so sad for all the human beings that they is going to gobble up. But I has had to get used to it. There's nothing I can do. If I wasn't a titchy little runty giant of only 24 feet high, then I would be stopping them. But that is absolutely out of the window.
Do you always know where they're going?
Always. Every night they is yelling at me as they go bootling past. The other day they were yelling, "We is off to Mississippi and Miss Sorry to guzzle them both."
Disgusting. I hate them. She and the big friendly giant sat quietly side by side on the blue rock in the gathering dusk. Sophie had never felt so helpless in her life. After a while, she stood up and cried out, "I can't stand it! Just think of those poor girls and boys who are going to be eaten alive in a few hours' time. We can't just sit here and do nothing. We have to go after those brutes."
"No,
we must. Why won't you go?" The BFG sighed and shook his head firmly.
"I has told you 5 or 6 times, and the third will be the last. I is never showing myself to human beings."
"Oh, why ever not?"
"If I do, they will be putting me in the zoo with all the jiggy rafts and catty piddlers."
"Nonsense," Sophie said.
"And they will be sending you straight back to the orphanage. Grown-up human beings is not famous for the kindnesses. They is all squiffle rotters and Greek sludgers."
"That simply isn't true. Some of them are very kind indeed."
"Who?
Name one," the BFG said. The Queen of England. Can't call her a squiffle rotter or a Greek sludger."
"Well,
you can't call her a squeak peep or a not mucher either," Sophie said, getting angrier and angrier.
"The flesh lump eater is longing dearly to guzzle her up," the BFG said, smiling a little now.
"Who? The Queen?" Sophie cried aghast.
"Yes, the flesh lump eater says he's never eating a queen, and he thinks perhaps she has an especially scrumdiddlyumptious flavor." "How dare he? But flesh lump eater says there's too many soldiers around her palace, and he daresn't try it. He better not. He is also saying he would like very much to guzzle one of the soldiers in his pretty red suit. But he is worried about those big black furry hats they is wearing. He thinks they might be sticking in his throat. I hope he chokes. Flesh lump eater is a very careful giant." Sophie was silent for a few moments, and then suddenly, in a voice filled with excitement, she cried out, "I've got it! By golly, I think I've got it." "Got what?" asked the BFG. "The answer. We'll go to the Queen. It's a terrific idea. If I went and told the Queen about these disgusting man-eating giants, I'm sure she'll do something about it." The BFG looked down at her sadly and shook his head. "She is never believing you. Never in a month of Mondays." "I think she would." "Never," said the BFG. "It is sounding such a wonky tall story, the Queen will be laughing and saying, 'What awful rub squash!'" "She would not." "Of course she would. I has told you before that human beings is simply not believing in giants." "Then it's up to us to find a way of making her believe in them." "And how is you getting in to see the Queen anyhow?" "Now hold on a second. Just you hold on a second, because I've got another idea. Your ideas is full of crodsquoggle. Not this one. You say that if we tell the queen, she would never believe us. I is certain she wouldn't. But we aren't going to tell her. We don't have to tell her. We'll make her dream it. That is even a more froth-bungling suggestion, said the BFG. Dreams is lots of fun, but nobody's believing in dreams either. You is only believing in a dream while you's actually dreaming it. But as soon as you's waking up, you're saying, oh, thank goodness it was only a dream. Don't worry about that part of it. I can fix that.
Never can you fix it. I can. I swear I can. But first of all, let me ask you a very important question. Here it is. Can you make a person dream absolutely anything in the world?
Anything you like,
The BFG said proudly. If I said I wanted to dream that I was in a flying bathtub with silver wings, could you make me dream it?
I could,
The BFG said. But how? You obviously don't have exactly that dream in your collection.
I do not, but I could soon be mixing it up.
Oh, how could you mix it up?
It is a little bit like mixing a cake. If you is putting the right amount of all the different things into it, you is making the cake come out the way you want. Sugary, spongy, currenty, Christmassy, or crab switchy. It is the same with dreams.
Go on.
I has billions of dreams on my shelves, right or left.
Right.
I has dreams about bathtubs, lots of them. I has dreams about silver wings. I has dreams about flying. So all I has to do is mix those dreams together in the proper way, and I is very quickly making a dream where you is flying in a bathtub with silver wings.
I see what you mean, but I didn't know you could mix one dream with another.
Dreams like being mixed. They is getting very lonesome all by themselves in those glassy bottles.
Right. Now then, do you have dreams about the Queen of England?
Lots of them.
And about giants?
Of course.
And about giants eating people?
Squiggles of them.
And about little girls like me?
Those is commonest of all. I has bottles and bottles of dreams about little girls.
And you can mix them all up just as I want you to, Sophie asked, getting more and more excited.
Of course, but how is this helping us? I think you is barking up the wrong dog.
Now hold on. Listen carefully. I want you to mix a dream which you will blow into the Queen of England's bedroom when she's asleep, and this is how it will go.
Now hang on a minute. How is I possibly going to be getting near the Queen of England's bedroom to blow in my dream? You is talking dumb silly.
I'll tell you that later. For the moment, please listen carefully. Here's the dream I want you to mix. Are you paying attention?
Very close, the
BFG said. I want the Queen to dream that 9 disgusting giants, each one about 50 feet tall, are galloping to England in the night. She must dream their names as well. What are their names again?
Flesh lump eater, man hugger, bone cruncher, child chewer, meat stripper, gizzard gulper, maid masher, blood bottler, and the butcher boy.
Let her dream all those names, and let her dream that they will be creeping into England in the depths of the witching hour and snatching little boys and girls from their bed. Let her dream they will be reaching into the bedroom windows and pulling the little boys and girls out of their beds, and then Sophia paused. Do they eat them on the spot, or do they carry them away first?
They is usually just popping them straight into their mouth like popcorn.
Put that in the dream. And then the dream must say that when their tummies are full, they will go galloping back to giant country where no one can find them.
Is that all?
Well, certainly not. You must then explain to the Queen in her dream that there is a big friendly giant who can tell her where all those beasts are living so that she can send her soldiers and her armies to capture them once and for all. And now let her dream one last and very important thing. Let her dream that there's a little girl called Sophie sitting on her windowsill who will tell her where the big friendly giant is hiding.
Where is he hiding?
The BFG asked. We'll come to that later. So the queen dreams her dream, right?
Right.
And then she wakes up, and the first thing she thinks of is, "Oh, what a horrid dream! I'm so glad it was only a dream." And then she looks up from her pillow, and what does she see?
What does she see?
The BFG asked. She sees a little girl called Sophie sitting on her windowsill right there in real life before her very eyes.
How is you going to be sitting on the queen's windowsill, may I beg? You are going to put me there. And that's the lovely part about it. If someone dreams that there's a little girl sitting on her windowsill, and then she wakes up and sees that little girl really is sitting there, that is a dream come true, is it not? I is beginning to see where you is driving to. If the queen is knowing that part of her dream is true, then perhaps she's believing the rest of it is true as well. That's about it. But I shall have to convince her of that myself. You said you was wanting the dream to say there's a big friendly giant who's also going to talk to the queen. Absolutely, you must. You're the only one who could tell her where to find the other giants. How is I meeting the queen? I is not wanting to be shooted at by her soldiers. The soldiers are only in the front of the palace. At the back, there's a huge garden, and there are no soldiers in there at all. There's a very high wall with spikes on it around the garden to stop people climbing in. But you can simply walk over that. How is you knowing all this about the queen's palace? The BFG asked. Last year, I was in a different orphanage. It was in London, and we used to go for walks all around there. Is you helping me to find this palace? I has never dared to go hide and sneaking around London in my life. I'll show you the way, Sophie said confidently. I is frightened of London. Don't be. It's full of tiny dark streets, and there are very few people about in the witching hour. The BFG picked Sophie up between one finger and a thumb and placed her gently in the palm of his hand. Is the queen's palace very big? He asked. Huge, Sophie said. Then how is we finding the right bedroom? Well, that's up to you. You're supposed to be an expert at that sort of thing. And you is absolutely sure the queen will not put me in a zoo with all the caterpillars? Of course she won't. You'll be a hero. You'll never have to eat snozzcumbers again. Sophie saw the BFG's eyes widen. He licked his lips. You mean it? You really mean it? No more disgusting snozzcumbers? You couldn't get one if you wanted them. Humans don't grow them, Sophie said. That did it. The BFG got to his feet. When is you wanting me to mix a special dream? Now, at once, Sophie said. When is we going to see the queen? Tonight, as soon as you've mixed the dream. Tonight? Why such a flush-bunking flurry? If we can't save tonight's children, then we can anyway save tomorrow's. What is more, I'm getting famished. I haven't had a thing to eat for 24 hours. Then we had better get crackling, the BFG said, moving back towards the cave. Sophie kissed him on the tip of his thumb. I knew you'd do it. Come on, let's hurry.